Hello and welcome to Hexed Encountered. I'm Joe, and it is Sports Saturday here on the channel, and we will be taking a look at a game called Roller Rumble. This is from Play Games and is available through their Play Now brand. So this actually is not a new game. It originally was released, I think Keith Avalone, the designer, said in 2001, and then they kind of rebranded it into a smaller package and re-released it about a year ago. So the box, you can see my hand, the box is not that large. Certainly not as large as, a regular Play Games release on the Play Classic branding. But this is an interesting one. So this was a 1960s and early 70s, late 50s through early 70s kind of roller derby was a big thing. In the notes, Keith mentions that it was for a time the third rated televised pro sport in the United States, which is pretty impressive. It was behind baseball and football. So this game, obviously, it is based on roller derby from that period of time. So I was going to do this as a first look and then show some gameplay. That way you get a look at both the components and what you get when you buy the game and you get the box, and then also, of course, what it looks like while you're playing it. So let's open it up. It comes in the now standard format of the sleeve that comes off. And then you have the smaller box. It says right here, playnow.com. So you open it up now. It comes in a plastic bag that I already removed. This plastic bag right here, already removed it. And inside that bag, you have the rule book. Now, as fits the old style that this game was published under originally, the book, there's only one book, and it contains both your charts. So you can see here you've got your highlight reel charts, as well as down here you've got a TV interview chart, as well as the rules of the game themselves. So you can see here at the very front of the book, there are charts. That's highlight reel. You got highlight reel A and B and C. Then you've got a history of the roller derby, which is what I mentioned here about it being, it was the third most popular professional sport behind only baseball and football. Had weekly telecasts on over 100 stations and packed houses at Madison Square Garden, et cetera, et cetera. So it was a big deal at that time. Now that's a little bit before my time, but I have seen, and I'm sure most of you probably have seen, clips of roller derby or whatever. But so then we go through the rules, how the game works. It's very straightforward. It's very much a play game. It has qualities on the cards that you'll see. Uses fast action cards, so there are dice, but your most of your action is going to come right off the fast action cards. And then you have the various readings on the facts is what this first section is about. Then we have gameplay. Then you have your tiebreakers, which are important if both players have the same quality. Then you have a tie-breaking sequence, and you can have up to 4 players tied, because each team will have 2 jammers, who are the scorers in a roller derby game, and we'll kind of go through that a little bit as we play. There are penalties, there are injuries you can substitute. There's also, I think, if I can turn the page, some special rules, some strategy elements, and design notes, for playing safe, kill the clock, a vigilant ref to handle kind of rough and tumble type play. In some ways, this kind of resembled a little bit of what maybe you would have in professional wrestling, where you have heroes and villains, etc. But this was not, to use wrestling terms, not a work. It was a shoot, which means it was legitimate. It was a legitimate competition. But they did play it up a little bit as well. And then you have your final comments. And it also mentions that I forgot, I kind of skipped over here. You have your join game in progress. So there's a chart we'll see in a moment where you can actually quickly get a halftime score, and then you only have to play the second half of the game. And then there's a final TV interview chart in the back. So these are our player cards. And you can see you get 16 per sheet, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which adds up to 96 total. And I thought I ordered the extra cards, but perhaps I didn't. But anyway, if you look at the cards, you can see here you've got a TV grade, which will be familiar to those of you who played Face to the Mat or watched my video or someone else's video on that game. They have TV grades. They have qualities. You have agile, fast. Then you have starred, which means that have that quality to a greater degree. And then you have things like star and big and so on and so forth. Mean, powerful. And these are fictional. These are not real roller derby players. These are fictional. And you can see their positions. So you have blockers, pivots, and jammers. Your jammers are your scorers. And you can see the TV grade for this particular one. Who has 2 starred attributes is a jammer. So this would probably, Lou Haley here would probably be one of your better players. So you have, these are men with the blue background. And then you have pink background. Those are women. And this is a co-ed game. So you alternate men and women throughout each period of the game. So that's kind of an interesting twist. That's a little different from some other things. And so you have sheets with women skaters as well. So we have our players here. As you can see, I have not yet separated those. They're the typical perforated player cards that you would get in most of the play game offerings. Let me move this out of the way. So now you have your 2, this is where the game is played. So here you have your 5 players that are out on the track at a time. 2 blockers, a pivot, and 2 jammers for both the home and the away team. And then home is obviously the blue because down here you see home, and then these are tracks. And so there are tokens that you put on here to move through the various stages. And when you get to jam, that's a scoring opportunity where basically you score points by passing the other team. Your jammers go as fast as they can to try to lap the other team, by doing so they score points. And all of this is played off on the FAQ cards, which we'll see here in a second. So that's that. And now if we go, here's the scorecard. As you can see, you have 8 total periods. So 4 in the first half, 4 more in the second half. You can list your players here and then how many points they score and then the total at the end of the game. And your 2 teams you would write in here and here, obviously. Pretty straightforward. You have a spot for notes. Down here you have your scoreboard, and then, of course, that will lead you to a final score. So Keith provides us with several of these. We have, a decent number of those, but you can obviously photocopy them. Then there are the rosters that come with the game so that you can use these if you want, or you can have your own draft, mix the players up any way you like. As we saw when we were looking at the player cards, they're not denoted with any indication of what team they should be with. Here is our Roller Rumble halftime score generator. As you can see, you roll dice, basically. 2 dice for each side, and that'll give you a score for them. And then you can also have a highlight as well. Here's our deck of fast action cards. There's the back and the front, as is the case with some of their other games like Highlight Maker Hoops, for example. To think of one I've played recently, you have two sets of results on each card, so you can flip it around and use whatever half is basically up, in the proper proper format for you as far as being able to read it, not upside down. Decent number of cards, so you should be able to get a nice mixture of results. And then we have our 2 tokens and our 2 dice, a white and a red. So that is the look at the game. So now I'm going to tear the cards and set up, and we'll actually play a little bit. I probably won't play the whole game. It could take up to like 40 minutes or so. So we'll probably just do a little bit of a sample of gameplay and then wrap things up. Okay, we've got the game set up and we are ready to go. So I've got my score sheet, filled out here. You can see so far I've only put the 2 jammers who are the scorers for each team. Now we alternate women in odd numbered segments and men in the even. So the women will go first. We are playing New York against Hollywood. These are our starting lineups for both. You can see the TV grades here for each player on both sides. This is New York. This is Hollywood. New York is the home team. They are here. So Maloney and Ferretti are our two jammers for New York, and Lahamadu and Call Clark are the jammers for Hollywood. So gameplay is really straightforward. We flip a fact. This one says, look at skate. It says fast skater in 1 or 2 speeds into favorable position. Lahamadu has fast starred. Maloney has just fast, and Cole Clark also has fast. So that would be a three-way tie, but it automatically goes to the starred attribute. So they would move up 1. And then we flip the next card. Agile skater in 1 picks way into position, and this will also be in advance. So agile skater in 1. Oh shoot, you know what? I screwed up the first one. It says in 1 or 2, so these are the blockers. So we have a starred fast here, so it actually would be New York that would move up. Sorry about that. I had jammer on the brain there. So now we're looking at 1, and agile skater in 1 picks way into position. So Mavis Underwood is agile, and so is Kelly Brantmeyer. So this is a situation where we would have to have a tiebreaker. So the first tiebreaker, of course, is the starred attribute. The second is whichever team is trailing. The score currently is 0-0. And when it's tied, it goes to the home team. So New York moves up another one. Now we flip our next card. And this one says skate. Big skater in 1 or 2 keeps opponent out of position. So a big skater, well, we've got big here, and we've got a starred big here, so that's Culp. So Culp will move up because it was 1 or 2. So you see how the game moves here. Next, we have skate. Agile skater in 2 uses moves to improve position for jam. We're looking at 2, and we're looking for agile, and neither of them have agile, so nothing happens. Then we flip the next one, and we get skate. Speed of fast skater in 3 knocks opponent off balance. So we're looking at 3 now, and we're looking for fast, and Rena Camella has it, so they get to move up another one. Now, once we get to the next one, whoever gets jam first can start a jam. Both teams can score on a jam, but you can also opt to hold out for the power jam, and if you get the power jam, only your team can score. Okay, skate, penalty. Okay, so now we have a penalty. So what happens in a penalty is just like in hockey, you get basically sent off for 2 minutes. So what we do now is we flip the next card, and we look for skater, and it says home skater in 4. So that's Wendy Maloney. That's a big loss for them. So I'm gonna put her off to the side. She's in the penalty box. Now the next 6 facts is the length of her penalty, and then she would come back. So they have to skate shorthanded, and if Hollywood gets a jam, it automatically becomes a power jam because they're shorthanded. So now we got mean skater in 1 delivers shuddering blindside blow. So mean, we do have a mean here, and it's Mavis Underwood. So even though they're shorthanded, they've now moved up to jam, so we can have a jam, and that way you can see what a jam looks like. Sorry, I actually screwed that up. I was just about to start the jam, but what's supposed to happen is they're both supposed to move back, so they're going to move there. Once the penalty starts, they have to move back to the start positions. So now we will just continue here. So that was 1 card on the penalty. Second card is skate. Agile skater in 2 uses moves to improve position for jam. Agile in 2. No and no. So we just move on. This is card 3 of the penalty. Smart jammer in 5 anticipates track movement, skates into the clear. So smart in 5. Ferretti and Cole Clark both are, but Cole Clark has the smart starred, so she wins that one. And now we have our 4th card. And big skater in 2 bowls over opponent. So big, and again, Hollywood's skater has the starred quality. This is our 5th card now. Substitute. Okay, so what happens when you get the substitute result? Well, we simply flip the next card. and we look at the skater, visitor skater in 3. Visitor skater in 3 is Renee Camella. She's going to get subbed out for another pivot. And we will put in Carla Harris. So Carla Harris comes in as a substitute there, and we move on. This will be the last card of the penalty. It is skate, smart jammer, or it's always skate, but it's smart jammer in 5, anticipates track movement, skates past packing into the clear. So smart again, and they both have it. And again, Dana Cole Clark has it. Now that was the 6th card. So Maloney comes back, and now we have a jam. So you flip the next card, and you look at jam. 1 point, big jammer, can't keep up with faster opponent. Opponent scores 4 points. So if they have a big jammer, which they do not, you look at the team that started the jam. They do not. So actually, neither side does. Neither side has a big jammer. So it's just 1 point for Hollywood. I guess we'll just give it to Lahamadou. There's probably a thing that I'm forgetting that tells you how to do it. So I marked her down. Now we move back to the start, and we start over. And then once we go through the deck one time, actually, I'm supposed to cut it in half, and I forgot to do that too. See, I'm screwing this up like crazy here, man. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and you're supposed to split it in half. So I'm going to put it on top and kind of hold it a little bit offset so I can see, right? And then we're just going to eye it up. Let's get a couple more. There. This will be the men's deck, and I'll just put that out. So once we get through half the deck, that will be the end. So period 2 will be the men. All right. So now we'll resume here. So we look at skate again. Mean jammer in 5 smashes viciously through pack. We do have Maloney is mean. So actually, Ferretti is mean with a star. So they're going to move up. Then we have substitute. All right. So we flip the next card. It is visitor skater in 5. So that is our jammer, Dana Cole Clark. We need a jammer. So that will be Cheryl Spellman. Cheryl Spellman comes in here. And they substitute on the fly, kind of like a line change in hockey. One comes off, one goes on. Same kind of concept. Play resumes. Another substitute. And this time it is home skater in 2. So that is Lavella Tate. She is a blocker, so she comes off, and we'll put Pat Bush in there. And we'll resume. Substitute. Oh my God, how do we have all these substitutes in a row? I did shuffle the deck. Home skater in 1. So we're losing our other blocker. And I guess that means I can put Lavella Tate back in, because I don't think neither of the other two are blockers, so I have no choice. So now we move on to the next card, and action. So this is the first time we've seen action. So now we flip this, and we look at the action field. Home team fired up by fans. They move up. Okay. Next, skate. Powerful skater in 3 sends opponent crashing into the rail with an explosive block. So powerful. Neither of them are powerful. All right. Agile jammer in 5 weaves through pack using series of moves. So agile. Maloney's agile. Lahamadou is, well, so is Spellman. Those 3 are agile, but Lahamadou has it starred, so she wins the tiebreaker. We move on to the next one. Skate. Mean skater in 2 throws opponent into infield furniture. Okay. Mean. Neither of them are mean. So we just move on. Agile skater in 3 spins, knocks over opponent. She's agile starred, and so she moves up to the jam. So now we have another jam. So this time, let's hold out and see if we can get a power jam, because we have a little bit of a lead, so we'll do a little risk here. Flip the next card, action. All right. And action this time is home team surges around track. There you go. So now we have a power jam. So now we flip the card and we look at the power jam area. Poor effort, only 1 point. All right, so we'll give that point to Maloney. And it's 1-1. And we move on. Smart skater in 3 remembers past weakness of opponent. Well, we got to move these back first. Smart in 3. Starred smart, so that's home. So that moves up. And we have agile in 3, maneuvers into position. So Paige Pendry, the pivot, is actually starred agile as well. So they're going to move up again. Then we have fast skater in 1 uses speed to lead the jammer through the pack. Brandheimer is fast, so that moves up. And we look at star skater in 3, gains advantage over opponent. Pendry again is a star, so we're up to jam again. So let's do a regular jam this time. And we get 1 point. Fast jammer rockets around track and into pack, scores 4 points. So that's going to go to Lahamadou. So Lahamadou is going to score 4 for Hollywood. So that gives her 5. Let me just change this to 5. And this is now 2 for Maloney. All right. And we're getting low here, so we're almost done with this. And then we switch to the men. We have to reset. Skate. Fast jammer in 5. Speeds into clear. So Spellman moves up. Fired up star skater in 1 sends opponent in 1 and 2 flying. Wow. Star in 1. Neither one of our 1 blockers are stars. Audience roars as star skater in 3 humiliates opponent. Well, that would be Pendry again. And next is agile skater in 1 or 2 maneuvers into position. No. So that's Brandheimer. She's agile apparently. And we only have a couple cards left here. Oh, we only have 1 card left here. Powerful skater in 1 sends pair of opponents flying into. Well, Tate does have powerful. So that would have moved them up there. But that is the end of the first period. It is 5-2 in favor of Hollywood. So then we would move on and do the men. So I'm going to pause and swap out our lineups here, and then we'll come back and I'll do 1 round with the men, and then we'll call it a game for now. All right, we have switched over to the men, so let's get started. Skate action, just right off the top. Action. Home team surges. We move up. Next. Powerful skater in 3 levels 3 opponents with 1 move. So our pivots both are powerful. The team that's losing would get it. So that would, in this event, would be the home team, since neither has it for starred. Fired up star skater in 1 sends opponents in 1 and 2 flying. Okay. Star. That would be Tank Sherman. Cheat skater in 3. First time we're going to see cheat. Delivers illegal blow to head, immobilizing opponent. So we're looking for a cheater. He has it starred. Now, you can have your vigilant referee where you roll a die, and we haven't actually rolled a die. And if it's a 1 or a 6, then it's a penalty. If not, he gets away with it, and it is a 4. Nope, it's a 6. And that was Mike. Stan the Man Sturchak is going to go to the penalty box. So we'll start counting. 1 card. Highlight reel. All right, something different. We haven't used this yet. We're going to roll 2 dice. And we'll use the white as the first digit and the red as the second. So that is a 31. 31 is fight breaks out on track between skaters in 4 and 5. Skaters warned, no penalties. All right. So now this is card 2. Skate. Home skaters in 1 and 2 deliver series of effective body blows. So that, again, will move them to jam, and we will go for the jam even though we're shorthanded. Under jam, 3 points. Big jammer tangled up in pack. Opponent goes on power jam. Oh, So 3 points and a big jammer, which we do not have. So they score 3 points. So our lead jammer is Haley. He scores 3. All right, now we'll move on. Oop, reset. This is card 3, I believe. Smart Skater in 2 shouts out instruction to jammer who breaks free of pack. Smart in 2. So that would be Denny Cunningham, giving his team a little bit of an edge there. Cheat jammer in 5 uses a legal tactic to emerge from pack. Neither of those guys cheat. This is the last card of the penalty, I'm pretty sure. Substitute. All right, who gets substituted is Home Skater in 3. That's Stan the Man Sturchak, who is out anyway. So we will put a different pivot in, and I don't really have one. So we'll have to move him over, I guess, and put a different blocker in. So we'll put John the Accoster Foster in there. Cheat Skater in 4 uses foreign object to scatter opponents. Cheat in 4. Neither guy has a cheat. Revved Up Star in 2 executes Brilliant Assist. Neither one of them are a star. All right. Action. Sign waving fans stoke the home team. Home skaters in 1 and 2 deliver a series of effective body blows. Substitute. Visitor skater in 2. Cunningham's off, and we need a new blocker. And it will be Walt Hightower. Visitor team switches jammers from among skaters on the track. I'm going to stick with what we've got. I don't think we have to. Agile skater in 1 picks way into position. Nope. Cheat skater in 3 delivers a legal blow, immobilizing opponent. That would be Lassiter. So Eugene Whiplash Lassiter. Let's see if the ref gets him or not. And he does not. So he gets away with it. And we get a jam again for the home team. So let's see what we get on our jam here. No points. Big jammer loses steam. Opponent scores 3. We don't have any bigs. So we just move on. Highlight reel again. So let's roll our dice. And we got a 35 this time. And that says... Ugly shouting match turns into fist fight. Skater and opponent both ejected from game. Okay, so let's roll and see who gets the boot. 2. So I guess that means these 2. Both guys in the 2 slot will get ejected. So Accoster Foster and Walt Hightower both get the boot. And Cunningham and... we'll put Anthony Trainer in, I guess. I'd like to put Stan the Man back in, but he's a pivot. All right, so we've only got a handful of cards left. Action. Can't pick them up. All right. Action. Home team hustles around track. And I'll be here. I always forget to reset. Now that's taken care of. Penalty. All right, who gets a penalty? Skater. Home skater in 5. So Larry Sisson gets a penalty, and they're now shorthanded. Action. Action card is home team surges around track. And the last card, Smart Skater in 1 notices weakness in formation. Smart Skater would be Tank Sherman, and they would move there, but that ends the period. So after 2 periods, it is Oh, I put this in the wrong spot. This actually goes here. It's 5-5. 5-5. So let me mark this down. And you can see that New York had 2 and 3, and Hollywood had 5 and 0. So it is 5-0 through one period, and that through two periods rather. That's one quarter of the game. So you can see I screwed up here and there, but it's a very straightforward game to play. Pretty simple. Kind of fun and interesting. I don't know how many people are roller derby fans rather, but it's a fun game. It's also reasonably priced, and you can check it out on PlayNow.com or just Play.com. That will do it for now. As always, thank you for watching. Please feel free to comment if you would. If you'd like to see more of this game, let me know. I would certainly be willing to do more, perhaps an entire game. Now that I've played a little bit of it here to kind of go through the mechanics, I might be able to go a little faster in the future. So if that's something you want to see, please feel free to let me know. I'll definitely take it into account. Other than that, please consider liking, sharing, and/or subscribing, as I always ask, because that is greatly appreciated and helps grow the channel, helps give me positive feedback so I can continue to go forward with things. But either way, I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you'll return to see future entries here on the Hext Encounter channel. But that's going to do it for now. I'm Joe, and until next time, as always, happy gaming.